All right. Good afternoon once again. So I think that over the past meetings that we have had, there seems to be a lot of uh, noise at the background.
Really? It's my daughter. Um, can I don't come understand me? Is it better?
Yeah,
I bet. I was just checking in the house. That's why I
yeah,
was.
yeah. It's better. Sorry, my mic is muted. Okay, so just a little recap on what we've done so far. But you hold on, my mic.
Hello? Your mic is muted. Though.
Yeah, Makion. Sorry. Make the excuse him, Kakra, but I think you didn't hear.
Okay, okay, man, sir. Okay, no
Yeah,
problem.
that's fine. So let's move on. Um, yeah. So just to recall, or I mean, for us to revise on what we've done in the past, I think we had 4 sessions earlier. The first
Yeah,
one was just an intro into what we will be doing. The second session was on the introduction to cloud, right?
yeah.
Computing, and then its benefits that it offers. We also looked at, so the next meeting was on, okay. Mm, all right. Yeah, so the next meeting was on
Definitely.
AWS and their service offerings, and then the benefits that they present. Okay. So the
Yeah,
next
yeah,
the next one was also on one of the service offerings, that is compute. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. That is compute. We
That
looked
was
at,
the last one.
yeah, that was the last one. That was on EC2 and its benefits, the purchasing options, how it is being priced, and then all that. Okay.
Yeah,
So given that, I wanted us to look at the networking component, okay? Because for now, moving forward, it will just be from one service to the other, one service to the other, one service to the other. Okay.
okay.
Um, networking seems a lot. The networking component seems a lot. So the network offering has to do with the VPC, okay? And under VPC, we will look at the VPC service itself. We will look at component called Internet Gateway. We'll look at NAT gateways. We'll look at security groups. We'll look at network access control lists. We'll look at elastic IPs. So like there are a lot, all right? And I would want to do all of them also in one session. As a
Wow.
because that
Even
is
my
that Yes, we should. Yes, but then looking at the time now, I want us to look at the storage service at ASA. One of the storage service
Okay.
that is STB, Amazon STB. And then maybe on Thursday, okay, we we can look at that one. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I moving on all the services that we'll be tackling, I want it to be like hands-on, hands-on, hands-on at ASA. So that
Okay.
I'll yeah, I'll reduce the theory aspects of it. Okay. All right. So let me share the screen. Let me share my screen and we will begin. Okay. So we are going to look at the storage offerings that AWS has. Okay. But the first one, let me create the notes. So I'll create a new file. So I'll call it Day5-Storage. Okay. So that I'll share this one with you. And yeah. So AWS has a lot of storage services that they offer. Okay. So we have AWS storage services. Okay. Now they offer storage for block storage. Okay, I'll explain what block storage is anyway. There's even no explanation, it's just block, but I'll give you an example of what it is. And then they have what you call object storage. And we have I don't want to explain S3. Okay, so let me just do this. All right, so under block storage, they have what we call the EBS, okay, which stands for the Elastic Block Store. Okay, now the Elastic Block Store, the EBS service, is what it has another name called attached volume. Okay, it's just like the hard drive that we put in our computers. Okay, so we introduce ourselves to EC2. Now the storage, default storage that comes with the EC2 instance is block storage. And with EBS, it is not a standalone storage. So without, I mean, you can't use EBS alone. You have to attach it to a compute resource, and that is EC2, before you'll be able to store files on an EBS volume. All right. So even if you allocate an EBS volume, you still have to attach it to a compute resource. And the compute resource it works with what is EC2. So you attach it to the EC2 just like the hard drive, so that you have a storage on your EC2 instance. Okay. There is EFS, and another name is, so the full meaning of EFS is Elastic File Storage. Okay. This one, it has another name called the Network File Storage, or NFS. All right. The Network File Storage, or NFS. Now, what it comes with, all right, aside the EBS, or what the added on feature the EFS comes with, is that it is a network file system, or a network, sorry. Yeah, this should be a network file system. Good. So it's a network file system. All right. It means that this one stays on the network. All right. So that you can have multiple EC2 instances, all right, connected to it. Oh, no, it stays on a network. So it uses, I mean, obviously, the internet. So for example, if you create an EC2 instance, you create another EC2 instance, you create another EC2 instance, you create another EC2 instance. Now, you want a central storage device, or a central storage, for you to save your files. These use cases happens a lot in corporate organizations. They wouldn't want you to store files on your computer. Okay, they wouldn't want you to store files on your personal computer. It should be on what we call a server, so that tomorrow when staff A leaves the company, and let's say the computer itself is even damaged, and then they have to replace the computer, the files don't remain on what the broken computer, but rather on what on the storage, the central storage that they have on the network. So in the cloud,
Okay.
if you want a shared storage like that, then you use EFS. Okay, you use the EFS for as your storage, but then you still have the EBS volume, so that will be your root volume. So that one, it is like it doesn't EBS using EFS isn't a substitute for what your EBS volume. Okay, every EC2 instance must come with what an EBS volume. That forms part of what the root volume. Just like the normal computer that you use, you still have a hard disk in your computer, but then if you are to store company
So
files, yes, go ahead, go ahead. Uh, Market,
anytime.
your line is breaking. McKenna, can I hear you?
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Pocho Oye Kaka.
Yes, it's okay.
Okay, okay. I was asking there.
Mm-hmm.
So, since the EFS serves as like a centralized storage point,
Mm-hmm.
do you have to create an EBS for every instance
Yes.
that
So
is to
the yes, the EBS volume, as I said, it comes as what an attached storage, just like your normal laptop. Atasa. So your laptop
okay,
still has a hard drive. So your EBS stands for the hard drive because there should be something to also what help you run your operating system. Without a hard drive, you can't use the computer itself. Atasa.
okay,
So the
yeah,
EBS is just like the hard drive. Now the EFS, so with your personal laptop, probably you have a company laptop that you use. But when it comes to storing school files and everything, it has to be stored on what? The school's server. So that's I say. So someday if they have to
yeah,
change your laptop for you, on your phone, you are coming to transfer files from your computer to the new one because all the school's files or the work files are on the server. So you just have to log in into your account and then you should have access to everything as well.
yeah. But
Yeah.
what I want to understand is, does the
Mhm.
EBS come alongside as you create
EC2 instance,
what do
yes,
you call
there's
it,
always a default EBS
EC2?
volume. Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay. But you
There's
have to set up the EFS
Yes, the EFS,
after
you have
create
to
the
even
storage.
set it up before you attach it to
Okay,
your or before you mount it to the EC2 instance,
okay,
right? And there is objects storage, okay? Now for object storage, the only service that offers object storage is Amazon S3, okay? The short for Amazon Simple Storage Service. Okay. So because of the three S's, simple storage service. So short, mm, the shorten as what? S3. Now,
yes, sir. Yeah.
yeah, so object storage is a standalone storage service, and that is what we are going to look at. So it is a standalone storage service that you can use to store your files. We call them static files. Okay, so you have some documents, you have some videos, you have some images that you will want to what, store for a very long time. Then you don't need to set up an EC2 instance with an EBS volume and then you copy it to, because when you do that, it's like you're copying it to another computer. However, AWS has a storage service, just like Google Drive, all right, just like Dropbox, just like Microsoft OneDrive. That one comes as what? As a standalone storage service. You use it only to store what? Your files. So that is the same storage service that it offers. Now, the difference is this. For object storage, okay, when you put a file in there, so let's say you put a document there, if you would want to edit the document, you can't edit that file there because the file is saved as a single object. Okay, it is saved as what? A single object, one object. So you can't modify files in S3. If you want to modify it, you will have to download the file, or you have to modify the original file and then now re-upload it, which will overwrite the previous one that you stored there. But there is a way to even maintain, or I mean, there is a way to maintain versions of it. We'll get into the console shortly, and then we'll look at that. Okay. Unlike EBS. Now, EBS because it is attached to a compute system, then you can modify the files on the EBS by help of the compute service that is attached to it. But S3 is a standalone storage service, so it is only used for storage. You don't use it for modification or anything. All right.
Okay.
Good. Now it comes with storage classes. All right. Now they have the standard. They have the infrequent access. They have infrequent one zone. Okay, infrequent one zone access.
I remember this.
And we have the intelligent tiering, and we have the archiving service. Okay, this one is not part. We have the archiving, the Glacier, and the Glacier Deep Archive. Okay. All right. Now, these are the different type of storage tiers that you have in S3. So standard is for objects that has like frequent access patterns. Okay. And there somebody is accessing it, somebody is watching videos, somebody is doing this. So a typical example, a typical use case for a standard storage will be like YouTube. Okay. The YouTube streaming service. Because videos are frequently watched, then it is advisable or best practice is to store them in the standard tier. Now, infrequent access is for objects that are rarely accessed. Okay, so something like, let's say in your school examination results. Okay, students normally don't check their result unless it is examination time. Sorry, unless results are released. Immediately they are released and then they look at it once. They won't look at it again till the next semester, right? When they would want to look at it again. So these objects are infrequently accessed objects. So you store them in the infrequent access tier. And there is infrequent one zone, okay, access. That one is the same as this, but the difference is that this one, we spoke about availability zones. The difference is that this one will be stored in a single availability zone. So for S3, what it comes with is that your data is replicated across multiple availability zones in the same region. But if you are using the infrequent access one zone or infrequent one zone access, then the object won't actually be replicated. It will stay in a single availability zone. So it means that one availability zone failure, it is also going to affect your data. And there is intelligent tiering. Now, intelligent tiering is when you don't know the access pattern of your object. So you use intelligent tiering. Now, this one uses access patterns to move your resources between the standard and then infrequent access. Okay. So these are the two tiers that the intelligent tiering will. So this one you don't know. So you leave it in the hands of AWS, or let's say an AI, to handle your storage patterns for you, or your depend on on your access patterns. And Glacier is for archiving. Okay. This is data that you are sure that it won't be accessed in any time soon. All right. So you want to archive them for a very long period. Let's take archiving as, let's say, a school administration. Immediately, let's say JHS3 students finish their BEC, or SHS3 complete their WASI, or everything that has to do with their books, maybe project works and everything, they will just go and dump it in some storeroom somewhere. Okay.
Yeah.
They are all dumped in a storeroom, so they are there for archiving in case someday a student comes and then they need records of their continuous assessment. Then you can go there, go and get them, and then what? Make it available for them. So Glacier is for archiving. The deep archive, I think, is self-explanatory. So Glacier, let's say if you want to keep it for maybe a year, then you use Glacier. For deep archives, is you want to keep it even for longer period than what? Just the Glacier. Okay. And then they have retrieval times. It takes, the maximum is an hour, right? Yes, an hour for you to retrieve a file from the Glacier, and then deep archive can take up to 12 hours. So it's the retrieval time. Let's just bring it to what? Yeah, real life. So the Glacier will be like the storybook, the storeroom shelf that objects are put in. Okay, records are saved in. Now the deep archive will be, maybe there is another room behind the storeroom, like layers that you keep it there. Obviously, getting a file from the storeroom or maybe the underground storage will be what? Much difficult, and it will take a longer time than just taking it from what? The storeroom that you save your regular files, right? So that's how the Glacier and then the Glacier Deep Archive works. All right.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And then also you can use S3 for web hosting. Okay, you can use it for web hosting, especially if you have a website that doesn't change that much. All right. As a typical example would be for, let's say you have a personal blog that you use to write about your personal life or maybe your adventures. Okay. Then you can use S3, because maybe when you make a single post, it can stay there for maybe about a month, and then it hasn't even changed. Then you can use S3 for that purpose. Okay. So for our hands-on, that is what I'm going to demonstrate. I'm going to use S3. I will show you the storage part, and then I'll also show you how you can use it for what? Uh, for web hosting. Okay. So I'll go to my console. No, let me hide the video panel. Good. Okay. So to navigate to S3, you can use the search bar. I have favorited it here, so I have it here. And if I've used it recently, you will see it in your recently visited. But if you don't have any of this, you can just search for S3 from the search bar, and then you should have the S3 service here. All right. So you just select S3. Right. So when you open the S3 service, this is the interface that you are going to get. And you save your object in what we call a bucket. Yeah. So first you have to create a bucket. So on the S3 homepage, you just click on create bucket. All right. And for now, we are only going to stick with what? The general purpose bucket. So it means that you use it for almost every use case. Now, the bucket name has rules. Okay. The first thing is, because it is a global service, or it is a regional service, and to a larger extent, a global service, the name has to be unique across, it has to be unique globally. All right. The name needs to be unique globally. And yeah, there is it's not the background, right? So the name needs to be unique globally, and it it doesn't have to repeat. So for example, if I do tests, okay, let me just say I'm creating a bucket called tests. Let me even, yes, test bucket. So if you want to know some of the rules there's a link here. If you click on it, it is going to open the naming rules for you. So there are a lot. Yeah, there are a lot. But the first one, it should be unique globally, and it has to be between a minimum of 3 to 63 maximum characters. Okay. So let me just use text buckets like this. Okay, I'll leave everything as it is here. And then if I click on create bucket, you can see it didn't create. What does it say? bucket with the same name already exists. I don't have a bucket like that in my account, but somebody somewhere has also created a bucket with the same name. So it's just like your email. Okay. Your email should be unique globally. It shouldn't be a name that somebody has taken already. Okay. So most of the times, this is how I create my bucket. If I want to, maybe I want to use it for website. I can say website bucket. Okay. And then I'll add today's date. Okay. I'll add like the dates that I used to create the bucket. So here I'll have 30/07/24. All right. This should be unique for me. All right. Now,
Okay.
I am going to use it for storage purposes and as well as website. So I will show you an option here. You have to use, all right, enable what you call, right, you have to select what you call ACLs enabled. Okay. Now, what it means is that any object that you have in the bucket can also be owned by what AWS account. And then access to this bucket and its object can be specified using what ACLs. What it means is that there's an option that will enable after we have created the buckets. Okay. But what this means is that you can make the objects in the bucket publicly accessible by using what we call access control lists. All right. If you do disabled, then you have to use what you call policies. You have to use policies to actually make your object publicly accessible. And then policies are advanced level stuff. It's for the developers. That one you write code to make it available. So on our level, we just use ACLs enabled. All right. And then we come to object ownership. Now, for the object ownership, there are two ownership that you can choose from. Okay. The bucket owner or the object owner. What does it mean? Now, if you make the ownership of the object the bucket owner, then it means that the owners of the bucket, okay, has full control of these objects, even if it takes another person from another account to upload objects. All right, it is possible that if I have my account, you also have your AWS account, and then you have allowed me access to your bucket. It is possible that I can upload objects into your bucket. However, if the ownership of the object is set to bucket owner, it means that even though I am the one who uploaded the object into your bucket, I still don't have control over it. Okay. So when it comes to deleting the object and then all those things, I still can't do that. It is only you that can do it. And you can also choose what object owner. Now, it means that even though it is your bucket, if I upload something or I put something into your bucket, I still have control over that specific object that I put into your bucket. So in case I want to delete it, I should be able to delete it. You won't be able to delete it, even though you are the bucket owner. All right. And these ones are used in advance, like companies where you have multiple developers working in a single bucket. So for us, it is our bucket and we are the sole owners of it. So we will go with the bucket owner preferred. And then public access settings for bucket. I am going to use it for a website. So if I don't make the bucket publicly accessible, then it means that even though it is a website, people won't still be able to have access to my website because I'm blocking all public access. All right. So for this
Okay.
option too, we have to disable it. Okay. And then we acknowledge that yes, we want to turn on public access. Now versioning. As I said, if you have an object in your bucket and you upload another object with the same name, it will overwrite it. All right. It will overwrite the
Yeah.
object. So you will not have, like, let's say, a previous version. But if you would want to keep like an old version so that you want to track changes, that okay, this one is the current one, the other one is the old one, then you have to enable what we call versioning. So that even if you upload another file with the same name, the new one, you see the new one in the bucket, but then when you go to the object versions, you're able to see what the old one there. All right. This is used for tracking changes, and then you use it especially in companies, right? Companies will want to track changes to their objects. All right. Now, tags, I spoke about tags. Tags is all over AWS. It is a way for you to what? Organize your resources. So also in the big corporations, you are going to see something like this. You would want to tag your resources by, let's say, department or by groups. Okay. So let's say this is the finance bucket, this is payroll bucket. Yes, you want to tag it. So when you click a tag, choose a key and then the value. So the key, let's say if I want to tag it by department, then the key will be what? Department. And then let's say finance. You can have about 50 tags on one resource. Purpose. Let's say I want to target by purpose, and I'll say what? Test. All right. So a typical company will want to list buckets that were used for test. You can just filter them by what? By their tags, and then you choose what? The parameter, purpose, and then test. And then you should be able to see all objects or all buckets that are tagged with what? The key values, purpose, and then test. Okay. But you will not need it for anything. For encryption, that is yeah, go
Quick
ahead.
one. So for the can you scroll up a bit? Let me just so I'm sure. Yeah.
Is it the
A little
version?
bit. No, no, I'll come to the version a little bit more. Yes, yeah. So the enable public access. So
Mm-hmm.
because it's a website, that is
Mm-hmm.
why we have to enable public access.
Yes.
So in directly, it means that if I'm creating an S3 bucket,
Mm-hmm.
but for internal use, then that means
Yes,
that I have to
you don't have to.
click on
Yes,
the
yes,
public access.
you have to block public access.
Okay, okay. So apart from websites,
Mm-hmm.
is there any other reason for which I will actually enable public access?
Yes, so maybe you see there is let's take YouTube for example. Okay, YouTube, they are not hosting their YouTube website on S3. Okay, but let me not even use YouTube. Let me use Netflix. Okay, because Netflix uses AWS. Netflix entire infrastructure is on AWS. So with Netflix like this, they are hosting their website on another server, okay, but are using S3 as the storage for all the movies that we watch, okay, because it is
Okay.
cheaper when you are using S3. So in this case, the object must be public, even though the website itself is not sitting on what S3, but the object
Okay.
must be what public. So anything, if you are creating it for the purpose that people outside your account will have to access those objects in there, then you have to enable public access.
So when I sign in into my Netflix account, the
Mm-hmm.
whole website interface and stuff is not on S3. But when I
Yes.
click on the
A
movie, when I
movie,
select the movie
you
that
are
I want to watch,
basically
that one
accessing the movie
is
from an S3 bucket.
oh I see.
Yes.
Okay, I get that.
Yeah.
And I think there's a whole settings for those kind of stuff too. How to separate the websites on there, those kind of
Yes,
things.
yes. You can there's those one you are not a developer, so you don't even have to, you will not even care about it. Myself, I don't know how it is, but I know that it is done that way. But as to how
Okay.
to do it myself, I don't know. Those ones you leave them for the web developers and then the application developers to do their thing. Yeah.
Thank
Yours is to maybe make the so for example in a typical company they will say okay, we need an S3 bucket, all right, for this application that we are building. So you as a cloud engineer, your work is to just create the bucket, set up the rules, all right, the security rules like blocking public access or enabling public access, and then you hand it
you.
over, you give the developers access to it for them to do their thing.
Okay. Okay.
So the same
So
thing
and
with
with
EC. Mhm. Yeah, go ahead,
sorry,
go
say
ahead.
something. Can
Yeah, so
I?
yeah. So the same thing with EC2, all right, the EC2 service. So your web developer will say that, okay, we need to host this thing on a server and then we need an EC2 instance, okay? Your work as a cloud engineer is to just go and create the EC2 instance, okay? Select the right instance types and everything, set the security group rules and everything, and then you leave it to them to do their thing. Yeah.
Okay.
When the files are ready, they will give it to you. You upload it just like how I showed you how to host a website on an EC2 instance. So when the website files are ready, your job is to just put them on the server and then make sure that the website is accessible. Finished. But as to writing the website code and everything, it is not your work to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so with the versioning too,
Mhm.
you no matter how many times you have to update the the object,
Yeah.
it will keep all those different versions for you.
Yes. Yes. It will keep all those different versions for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Are we good?
Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I
So
get it.
as for encryption too,
Yeah, really.
we'll just leave it as it is because encryption is also for the security people and all that. So we leave all of these as well. Okay. And then we just go
Okay.
ahead and create. So we have disabled this, and then we have the ACLs enabled. Great. So I'll just go ahead and create the bucket. Good. So now my bucket is created. So to it's it's
The
simple.
region. Yeah. In
Yes.
the region, is it by default?
No. So if I choose, let me choose another region. So when you are creating a bucket in S3, okay, it takes what? Your region, the region that you are in. So it will take the region name. Yeah. That is what S3 does. So you don't select region in S3. Yes. So if I'm
I
creating
see.
this one, mhm,
I see that the region, I think, was Virginia or
US,
something.
yes, not Virginia. So let me create
Uh-huh.
another one.
Because if you look at the regions as we know, per the general ones we know,
Mhm.
we have, why are we North Virginia?
No, I chose it. So just like this one, you can see I changed it now. So we are in Oregon. All right.
So that is the North Virginia is the default one, because I remember that when we in the HK2, that was like the
Yes,
default thing there.
yes, that is the default AWS uses. Myself, I don't know why. Probably that is where their whole infrastructure started. Okay. But every new AWS account that you create, they put you in North Virginia. Some
Oh, okay.
some they might put you in Stockholm. Okay. This region. Where is it? This one, Europe, not Stockholm, EU, not one. All right.
So
But you are free to switch to any other region that you want. As you
okay,
can see,
but you
current.
do that before you set up, or
Yes, so
so assuming
any resource that you want to create. So as I explained earlier with the AWS global infrastructure, okay, they are physical locations. You understand? So if you are in North Virginia and then you are creating your resources in North Virginia, it's just like you saying that, okay, I want to build my data center in North Virginia. Okay, so let's take it in Ghana. Let's say you are setting up a data center for your servers, and you say, okay, I want to put it in Tema. You understand? So you're actually building the infrastructure there physically in Tema. So that is what it means.
okay, okay. But I was asking that let's say I'm creating a bucket for a company, and
Mhm.
then I didn't really take notice of the region, and I just went ahead with everything.
You have to delete it and create it again. You have to
Later, I
delete.
get to realize that no, they want it somewhere, let's say in the second one. What
Uh-huh.
can I make the changes, or once I create the bucket, I've created the bucket, I have to start the whole thing again?
Yes, you can't change it. So you have to delete the bucket and then first switch to the region before you create it.
Okay, I create the whole thing.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Sure.
Right.
Sure.
So now that my bucket is created, that is all there is to do. The next is to just upload what? Upload resources. Okay. So what you do is that you click on the bucket, all right, and then you click on what? Upload. All right. So here you can click on add files, and then it will navigate. You see, to open a window for you to what? Save your files in there. So let me just use this running note as an example. Uh, this okay. This the day one running note. I'll click on open. Okay. And that is all there is to do. And then I just click on what? Upload. Okay. And it will upload. So I wait to see upload successful. If I close this, I should have the object here. Okay. So as it's here, I cannot modify it. I cannot do anything. with it. Okay. If I should click this, all right, and I want to open, you see, as you can see, I will down it will download, all right, before I'll be able to view the content. Yeah. So you are not able to modify the object, you are not able to do anything with the object immediately when you store it. All right, it's only like accessing it. So if I want to edit it, then I have to what? Edit the file itself. This is a running note. Where is it? This one. I have to edit it offline, okay? And then I will re-upload it. Now let's test the versioning feature. So let's say here, I don't need the course outline content, all right? So I remove the course outline there. So this is a new file, okay? I will not change the name. I'll use the same name. All right. So I go back to the buckets. Okay. And then I click on upload again. I'll add files. So the same file. Okay. Open. All right. And then upload. If I come back, you will see that I still have what? Only one file there. The only thing that has changed is what? The time. Okay. 4:36. That was the time that I uploaded this new one. So if I want to see the old version, I have to switch on here, show versions. And as you can see, there's the old version here. If I hadn't enabled versioning, then I wouldn't have seen this one here. It would have been just a single one.
The old one.
Yes. So if I want to
Okay.
still have access to the old one, I have to delete the new version. Okay. So this is the current version. I have to now delete it. Okay. So I have to confirm, permanently delete. I'll copy this, paste that, and then delete object. Now, immediately I delete it, you will see the old one had come back. Okay, as you can see. And you can see the timestamp is what is different from what the previous one is what 16:34. That is 4:34.
Okay.
Yeah. If I delete this, okay, let's say I delete this and then delete. Okay, to us, it's gone. That is the power of what versioning. So here it is gone. But let's say it was a mistake, okay? You can click on show versions, and then what versioning does is what is it attached a delete marker to the file. So it will retire the original file to an old version, okay? And then create what? A delete marker onto the file. So if I still want to what? Restore this, all I need to do is what? Show versions and then delete the delete marker. Okay. And then if I close this, and then I will have the file back. Okay. As you can see, it is back. So that is what version does. It helps you to prevent unintended deletion, all right, or deleting by mistake. Okay. So it is always advisable to have versioning enabled on your bucket. All right.
Okay.
Now let's use the same bucket to host a website. So I'll delete this one. I don't need it. Okay, and delete this. All right. And if I want to permanently delete it, I'll have to show versions and delete the old version. All right. And then now delete the delete marker. And then the file will be permanently deleted. So now, if I should check versions, there's no file. If I turn off versioning, there's no file. Okay. Now, how do we use it for web hosting? Click on properties. Okay. Under properties. Okay. On the properties on the bucket here, you scroll down to the bottom. As you can see, static web hosting. It is disabled by default. Okay. So click on edit and then we just enable it. All right.
Okay.
Good. Now we are going to use it for what? static website. This is just what we need. And then we have what you call HTML files. So, websites, we use HTML. Okay, we use HTML to write website code. Or even if you don't know, website codes are in what? HTML. All right.
Yeah.
So you have to indicate your HTML file. This one is what the index.html and then the error.html are files that's normally all the developers use, but it is not by force. Okay. If yours is what's it called? Isaac, okay, you name your index file as what? Isaac.html. You can put it there. The most important thing is that it is an HTML file. Okay, and then you have your correct name. Yeah, that is all you need. All right, but by default, it is what? Index.html. That's
Yeah,
the
'cause in your case was there as that index as
uh-huh.
80, and then like
Yes.
just like this, you just had to enter it as it is.
Yeah, exactly.
But
So
as I say,
mhm.
so I think that this is the reason why when you made them upload their CVs as when we were using their CVs, they had to
Mhm.
change to ATM. They use their names. I remember Rosemary's one was like Rosemary
Dot
ATML. So
html
that's how you're
exactly.
going to indicate it like that.
Yes, so you have to indicate it. Let it know that your HTML file's name is what? It's the name that you have given it. So it means that the file itself should have that name, and then
You
you
have that name.
indicate.
The one you
Yes,
download to have the same as this
exactly.
one.
But best practice is that you have to use what? Index.html, so that if
Okay.
for example, for web developers, anybody that gets hold of what your website files will be able to trace where your main website code itself is. So
Okay.
it is not compulsory, but it's like a best practice. Okay. So you leave it as what? Index.html, and you save
Yeah,
change.
yeah, they made me copy and paste something. I didn't really understand why, but I had to.
So I'll show you why they made you copy and pasted
I copied
whatever.
something and then paste a bit.
The name, is it the name? I can't hear you. Hello?
Um,
Yeah, I think I can hear you now. Yeah, I can hear you now.
okay, okay, okay.
You said they made you copy and paste something?
No, where do you even go to? Can you go down, please? Yeah, there's a part where when you go to the edit, yes,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
the edit, yes, this particular part, the redirection rule and stuff. In dedicate, they gave as part of the instructions, there were
Mm-hmm.
some coding, something stuff
Yeah.
that they made me do and
Aha.
then
So
paste it.
as you can see, it's optional, right? So in
Mhm.
case you would want your website to redirect, as you can see, automatically redirect web page request for specific content. Okay.
Okay.
So, most of the times for some websites, immediately you click on something, it takes you to another page, or it takes you to a
Yeah.
different page or a website altogether. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So you can create redirection rules here. So most of the times, as you can see, those ones are made available. That is why they just made you to copy and paste. It's really not
Mm,
your wahala. So they just make you copy and paste. So you really don't need like the redirection rules here.
those kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
when you enable it, now you have this. Okay. Now it gives you what? A URL for your website. And it is just your website, your bucket name dot s3 website, and then your region dot amazonaws.com. Okay.
From a layman point of view, why do we call this static website?
Okay.
What makes it a static website?
So it
Just to
is
be
a
sure that
uh-huh.
static and dynamic I have in my head is the same thing we are looking at here.
Yes. So it is a static website because the object itself, okay, in its whole form doesn't change. For example, there's a Sarkodie's video that was released years ago, Adonai 2012, it's still the same video. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Okay. So
Okay.
people confuse, especially the reason why I'm using video, for example, is that because I said video, is that when I say video is a static object, they ask, but videos moves and all that. We are not talking about the
They
content
move.
itself in context, but we are talking about the whole make of the video file. Okay. The video hasn't been altered, it's the same thing. Today. If you go and search for Sarkodie's video, it will be the same thing. If you keep it for 20
The
years,
same
when
video.
you come back, it will still be the same file, the same video, nothing changes about it. Okay. So for a typical website, let's say, for example, the Kakum. Okay, no, I say Kakum. You want to create a blog or a website for tourist attractions in Ghana.
Okay.
The content is going to be the same till, even if it takes 50 years, the history about the place, everything about the place is going to be the same, isn't it?
Okay.
So
Okay.
website that doesn't change frequently is different from like a web application. So for example, a dynamic website will be like let's say an e-commerce website. Yeah. People
Okay.
buy, people buy, they will click on objects, they will send
Like Jumia or
yes,
Alibaba, those stuff.
like Jumia and the stuff. Those ones, that site is always active. People are clicking here, over there, and then information is changing frequently. So you cannot use S3 to host a whole website like that. Maybe
Mm.
pictures of the products, then you can put them in an S3, and then per your code, you direct it to retrieve those pictures from the S3 bucket. But the website itself, you can't put it on an S3 bucket. It won't work.
Okay.
Even if it works, when you go deeper, they will tell you that you use S3 to host a dynamic website, but it will cost you more. Okay, because every single click will count as what? An object access.
They might charge for that. Every click.
Yes, they will charge you for that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, I get it.
yeah. So that is just that. So when you enable this, all you are left with is what? To upload what? Your website files. Yeah. So
Okay.
let me see if I still have
And
this one.
I think can you click on permissions too? I think we did something there just to
Aha. So with the permissions here,
we did something there in
okay, for
permissions.
bucket policies, if you don't enable ACLs, all right, the one that
Mm-hmm.
we did in the beginning, then you have to
Yeah.
use JSON. Okay, that is where you edit this one. You write a JSON code here, right? That's what they made you do, isn't it?
Yeah.
You copy and paste the policy here. That is if you
Yeah.
don't use ACLs. But if you use
Okay.
ACLs, you are just doing a click. I'll show you the simple way. Yeah. So let me see if I have some website. I had a website files for tourist attractions in Ghana. Good. This one. Okay. These website files. You see, as you can see, this one is indexed. So let me even change the name. So let's say Isaac. Okay. All right. So it means that so all I need to do is just click on upload here. All right. And then I showed you this one, right? Click on add files
Yeah.
and then or add folders. But here, if you have to do this, you have to do them one by one. So the files, I have to click on add files. Okay. And then come and select the files. Okay. I'm even, where is it? Okay. Okay. And then I'll have to select this file. When I'm done, I have to come and click on add folder and then add the folders one by one.
Yes,
All
sir.
right.
Okay.
But I don't want to go through that. So on this page, I'll just select everything here like this, drag them. Okay. And then upload. All right. Now all will be uploaded.
You have to teach me how to copy a website.
The website.
Because after I did for them the
Uh-huh.
one they made me do, you just had
Uh-huh.
to was Amazon, but a part where they want you to just put your name, say created by. That's where you edit and then it shows that. But I quite remember that one of us, I think one or two, you copied a website.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a template or so.
Yeah, for a template from
And
somewhere.
then
Yeah.
you uploaded it there.
Yeah.
And I was trying to do the same, but I got lost along the way and I dropped
Yeah,
it.
that one was with EC2, right?
Yeah,
Because that
yes.
kind of website we cannot put it on S3.
It was a template though.
Yes, I remember when the one we downloaded from two plates, right?
Yeah, yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, yeah, that one we can't host a website like that on S3.
So it has to be something that is already in existence.
No, what I'm saying is that the kind of that type of website cannot be
Okay.
hosted on S3, all right? Because it's a dynamic website. It's more or
Okay.
less like an application, either than a normal static website. Okay, but
Okay.
if it can be hosted anyway, but some functions of the website will not work. That is what I
Yeah.
mean. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay,
Yes.
I've seen it. The one I tried it had this, like you said, there's some redirection button like join,
Uh-huh.
and when you click it, to redirect you to another place.
Please.
And all those things.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I get it. I get it. But I think it would still be nice to know how to copy because when
Yeah.
I opened the developer mode, I saw different characters and like, what is this?
Yeah, I'll show you how to copy. Don't worry. Okay, I'll teach you. Maybe in our next session we'll do that. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. But this one we generated. We did it in house. It was one of my
Okay.
colleagues who actually did it. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So my index file is now not what index.html. Okay. So I just have to copy this name. All right. I'll use it later and then close it. But so this is where the permissions come in. Because
Okay.
I used ACLs, all I need to do is select all of these, go to actions, and then I'll choose what make public using ACL and then make
Okay.
public. That's all. I don't need to write those that permission code. All right. Now,
Okay.
if I should visit the website now, it will not work, isn't it? It will not work. We will not see anything because our index file, right? Our HTML file is not
Mm,
index.html, but rather what? Isaac.html. So I have to
okay.
edit this and then change the name here to Isaac.html and then save
Okay.
changes. I only have to refresh this page and then it should work. I think it takes some time. Let me just, because I enabled ACLs, right? Let me just close it and then open it again. So open, go to objects, select all actions, make public using ACLs, and then make public. Yes, it works now. So properties, let me make sure that I had the right name because it should just work. Isaac.html, right? Save. Okay. Properties. This make public, right? And then let me go back here, properties, and then now open the website. Yes. Okay. So this was a simple tourist attraction website that we created in-house. All right. So as I said, I want you to look at something, the Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum. Yeah. So this one, okay, the Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum. If I want to make, as you can see, the Nkrumah and then Mausoleum has a dash in between. All right. So I want to correct it so that it will have like the name and then the space here. Let me wait for it to come again. Okay, as you can see, this one. Yeah. It has a dash in between. But I don't want it that way. All right. I want them to have like this one, like this Cape Coast Castle. Okay. So if I want to do the changes, there is no option, right, for me to edit the file here. Because on a normal, I should just be able to what? Open it this way. All right. I should be able to open it this way and then what? Make edits to it. But I won't be able to actually edit it. All right. There's no
Okay.
option for me to edit that. So I need to come back to the original file itself, this one. Okay. And then if any text editor that I have, okay, either Notepad, let me just use Notepad. And then now search for the line. So here, and as you can see, this one, it is this line, is a header that has the
Okay.
Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum. Okay. And I'll just remove this. Yeah. And then save the changes. So it is changed, as you can see. The date of modification and the time has been updated. Now, I'll come back to my bucket and then just upload the file again. As you can see, I'll just maintain the same name. Okay. And then upload just this one. I'll just upload a single file. All right.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
upload that. So after I upload, because I'm using ACL, so the advantage of using that policy document or the JSON one is that you don't have to always come and select the object and then go to here and then make public ACLs again. If you use the policy, it affects every object and even new ones that you upload.
Yep. Okay.
So now if I make it public and then I'll go back to properties and enable it, as you can see, it has now changed. Okay, the dash is not there. Okay, but then after changing, let's say your team comes and they say that no, we still want the old one. Okay, because that is how the spelling should
Old
be.
one.
Then thanks to versioning, if I turn on versioning here, you should see the old one was retired here. Okay, so all I need to do is delete the current version like that, paste that, and then delete. So the difference is that if you delete an object, a delete marker is attached to it. But if you delete an object version, it goes permanently. All right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
now I've removed the delete marker, as you can see. I've removed the new version, so I should have the old version back. If I should refresh this page, as you can see, it has reverted back to the old one.
So if you don't enable versioning in your initial stage, and
That's
then you
all.
come, if you don't enable, like see right now, you want to click on show versions, then you have it. But
Uh-huh.
assuming you didn't enable the bucket versioning there, I think when you were
You
setting it up before you
yeah,
created the bucket,
you
that
not
means that
have
this
this.
will not appear here.
Yes, you not have this one there.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I can demonstrate it for, so this will be, so let's say non version bucket, okay, 001. Okay. I'll leave everything. It's just to demonstrate the version. So you see, I wouldn't enable version here this time. Okay. And then create bucket. Let me do this. Yeah, sorry. And then acknowledge. All right, and create buckets. Okay, so now I've created a bucket. As you can see, that option is not there. All right, let me
Okay.
just upload some files there. So add files. No, come back here and then put this one there. Okay, and then upload. As you can see, that is the only one there. All right, we come here. See, there's no versions. All right, let me go and do the changes again. Edit, so at least so that we have a different file. Okay, and then upload. As you can see, it has been overwritten. You see, and
Okay.
there's no version here. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So um that is about it for S3. So maybe, yeah, you might want to practice that. Maybe you use the CV project that I gave them, and then you practice with your CV.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I change the CV to HTML file and
Yes.
then wait, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Any more question?
For now, no. Yeah. The only thing I keep asking myself, I'm sure that along the way you bring it up.
Yeah.
So, real life situations, where will I be in what situation? How will it appear like in a company? How will it come out?
Yes.
I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, yeah. As
So
we
I'll
move
look
ahead.
at, okay, this time I'm going to put it those kind of stuff.
Yeah. As we move ahead, as you said, I'll bring it up.
Along the way to come up. But
Yeah.
apart from that, so far for S3, I think I am okay.
Okay. Sure.
I'm okay with this one.
All right. Okay. Uh, are you done with the educate one on storage?
Yes, I'm done with storage. I'm done with Cloud 101 storage and then EC2.
Okay. So
Networking.
yes, I'll recommend you move on to networking because the next topic will be on networking.
They reading a chow and moving on couple of
Yeah,
free.
yeah, I know, right? All right. Yes, but
But
Thursday when we meet, we'll make it will be simple. Don't worry.
yeah, that's why I really wanted to do in as much of that. I wanted to there are some things that they said that and I did, but I wanted to really understand
Yeah,
the why and all those kind of stuff. So
sure.
it's
All right,
so
sure.
hopefully I'm almost through
Mm,
before I get to the practical session. So I think hopefully today and tomorrow I will finish that part.
okay, sure. Sure.
I will finish
All right.
that part. Yes.
All right. And
But this
I'll
thing,
mhm.
you said you were going to give me an account for something before
Yeah,
we went on a break.
for code cloud. Yes, yes, yes. I will get it for you.
So I got one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if it's the same thing. And then there were a number of them. They got me confused.
Okay, that's fine. Let's look at it on maybe Thursday or within the week.
Yes,
Yeah.
so I know I want to also start. And then you also said something about Linux.
Yeah, Linux.
Linux,
Yeah.
or I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Where do
Yeah.
I get to learn that?
Yeah, it would have been on the Code Cloud platform, but I'll give you another resource that will also help you do that. Yes,
Okay,
I have a YouTube playlist that do justice with Linux, so I'll share that with you.
okay, that would be nice.
All right.
With my Chromebook, I receive.
Yes, you are safe.
So I had to install the Linux on the Chromebook now. So I have it. But
Oh, okay, okay,
I don't know whether if. So I gave the Windows machine to my wife
okay.
use, and I'm now using the Chromebook. But I wanted to make sure if it can take us through all the
Oh
things.
yes, yes, you are safe. For whatever we'll do, I mean, it's you are safe.
Okay,
Yeah. All right.
that's fine. All right,
All right. Sure. So I think we'll end here.
sure.
And today, I will try and then make the video available today so that I mean within the days before Thursday, if you want to refer to it, you'll be able to refer to it. Yeah.
You have other videos there. How do I differentiate this one? Because I've seen that you have a lot of videos there, like far advanced videos. And then
Yeah. But I
maybe later
specify.
on, let's say I want to
Uh-huh.
start from the one later. How how will I say
Yes,
that
if it is on our
on
sessions,
your channel? Because all your
I
videos.
yeah, I gave you a special link for the playlists for our sessions specifically, right?
Yes.
So those ones, or for our session specifically, those videos will be there, will be in that playlist. Yeah. But if you want to refer to the other videos on my channel, that one too, I can give you a guideline on which one to start with and then all that.
Oh,
But
those
for
ones, when I look at the thumbnails, they are confusing enough. So
yes, yes, but
when I'm watching, let's say the first one that I watched the video and then
mhm.
it completed, I wanted to see if I could go into the list and see maybe I'll find the two video, but I realized that they were like other videos also had like the 7 day, 8 day, this.
Oh no,
I
I'm
couldn't really
coming.
differentiate mine from the rest. That is what I'm referring to.
Yeah, hold on.
I couldn't really differentiate mine from the rest. So that at least, even if I have to get into the later videos, at least it's in line. I know that from here,
So
we have
for yours. I think I can stop the recording now, right?
Yeah, pretty much.